All right, Mike. Here is we got Sean O'Hare on the right, and I really wanted to see this view because it really kind of shows you what you're doing with your setup and how it affects the pivot. And I think what you'll see, and we kind of looked at it a little bit last season, but not much, is because your left hip is too low, you're a little more, probably a little bit too much over the ball. You have a reverse spine tilt there, and you can see Sean O'Hare here with a Foley. You can see that left hip right here is a lot higher, and then that puts him more behind the ball there. And really, from that position, he's not going to have to make a lot of moving off the ball or anything. He's going to be behind the ball when he hits it because he's behind the ball when he starts. When you do this, a couple things you want to look at is when you see this line here with his left hip, where it's about an inch outside the left heel of his left foot. You do that really well right there. You've got that there, so that's good. You definitely don't want to change that. You want to keep that where it is. You just want your left hip to be higher because you can see what it ends up doing is it doesn't let you turn as deep as you want. And you can see you get to about this position and you've made a good turn, but now you can't keep going, so you have to lift up. You can kind of see that move where you just lift up, and now your spine tilt is, I'm going to get everything out here for you. Your spine tilt's more, it's definitely reverse, and you're going to have to make some compensations from there to, to get behind the ball. You can see you just kind of lift here, and I think it's a lot because of the setup, but you definitely don't want to do that. And I'll show you, so we got Appleby here. And you just kind of draw the same lines, and it's a driver, so it's going to be a little more pronounced, but he's got the brace in that right leg. You see, the spine is pretty much straight like that. But you look now where he's here, and you look at impact, and he's really not that much different, and that's with the driver. His spine hasn't moved that much, his hips haven't moved all that much, and I'll show you Lance here, and basically this is the reason I think one, he's got back issues, and two, he fights some inconsistencies as there's where he's at address, there's where he's at impact. Yeah, that's not that much. So he's had to move his hips and his spine a lot for him to get behind the ball. And anybody who's ever hit it well, their head's behind the ball at impact. So you might as well just set up behind it. And that's a lot going on in your back. I mean, you can see that's really, he goes from there to there. I mean, that's a lot of movement. So I think that's why he fights some inconsistency, and I think just with a better setup he'd be better, but I don't know if he's going to work at it. But I think that's something we kind of look at with you. From your face on, love that left foot flared out there. That's good. One thing you've done that you probably don't even know you do, your left shoulder stops. The club stops the exact same time as the left shoulder, which is great. Which you probably don't even know you do, but it's awesome. I mean, to me it all looks pretty good. It's just right here you can see your head start to lift. So setup might change it. So we'll just kind of see what happens after you kind of try to tweak your setup a little bit. Down the line, kind of tough to tell. The one thing I do like, and I don't know if you've been working on this or not, it kind of sounds like you have. See that right elbow kind of tipping in there? I like that. I'm guessing right now when you do hit it well, it's a little bit further than you normally do. So, show you a couple swings here of some people that do that well. Sorry. Just because Boo just won, we'll show you him. He hits it. He's such a good ball striker. You see that right arm. First of all, it's super connected. I mean, it never gets near as high as yours does. And he keeps it just in front of him. That right elbow is right in front of him, and then you can just, just turn. And there's a lot of people I could show you, but I think it is significant when you get yours so high that it's really tough to tuck it back in there. Maybe that's not even necessarily that's hard. It's just hard to do consistently. Where him at the top of his backswing, and obviously I'm comparing a driver versus a, whatever Boo's hitting here. And here's your that Faldo drill the other day. And as you do this, I mean you've cocked it up as to pair well, and that's good. I just don't think there's enough forearm rotation, because that's kind of where you stop, and there's your target line, and kind of here's where it's definitely not rotated enough. So when you go to the top, it's still pretty steep, and even though that is a lot better, it's still steeper than you want it. Which leads me to this next go that I just did out of the Warrior, which is really awkward, but really it's just going to show you God, I hate doing these things, but show you the roll that your arm should take in the golf swing. So they'll go up just like a Faldo drill, and rotate them as much. And you can see as I rotate them, that right arm is getting tucked in there. And it seems like that's all they do, which seems impossible. It seems like not very much at all. And then you go from the side. You got that. Now you just make a little turn. And that's not exactly where I'll end up, but that's kind of what I'm working on now too. But that's something I'd also kind of take a look at too. But let me know what you think. It's not ideal to do it over video, but it's better than nothing. So kind of see where the setup takes you, and just let me know, and we'll just kind of work from there.